Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we do a new character every week. This week, we're going to be doing the new Crossbones, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
Hey, how's it going, guys? We have got quite a bit to talk about today. There was a big news drop and a big errata to the game, and we will discuss that later. But before we get to that, I want to ask how everybody is doing. We'll start with you, Steven. How are you doing today?
I'm groggy. I'm tired. I did a red eye. Obviously, I'm back in Ohio, and I just checked the score of the Guardians game, and they somehow scored 9 runs in a 4th inning. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just like, yeah, what the heck's happening? So, yeah, and Ministravaganza happened. Oh my gosh, jeez. And I landed in Las Vegas late last night and flew home, and I'm thinking, LVO, I might be there. So,
Yeah, you've been on a long journey right before coming here. I think
yeah.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, everybody, please excuse me if I sound like, death warmed over. This always happens to my voice when I wake up. It's like so much lower. So,
well, I'm glad you made it back home.
thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. If I have to dip out sometime, I'll just kind of send you guys a text in the Discord and let you know.
Okay. All right. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm curious if you actually know the new Crossbones' full name.
Oh no! Don't ask me that. I don't have it pulled up. The answer to your question is absolutely not. I do not know his full name.
I figured that out when you were.
Let me see if I
trying
remember.
to say it.
I'm pulling it up. I'm
Is it Crossbones Ruthless Mercenary?
No.
Oh, it's not.
Crossbones
Merciless Merc.
Mercenary.
Oh.
Mercenaries. Merciless Merc.
Okay, well, that's not.
Yeah. Well, you got me. I didn't.
The way you were
know it.
fumbling at the beginning, I was like, he doesn't know the name of this model.
You're right. You're right. I don't.
To be fair, I only knew because I had it pulled up. Otherwise, I'm doing it right, guys.
You're a step ahead of me. I do not have it pulled up.
Well, it's going to be a while before we talk about them, so.
Yeah.
I was also told I needed to keep it short and sweet, so I wanted to go ahead and pre-knowledge.
Give me a little pre-ribbing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think he's doing his research because he
that.
hasn't read it yet, Fred.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Okay. How are you doing, Brad?
I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. I just recently got back from not today, yesterday. I got back from the Mothman Festival, which is required viewing for anyone from West Virginia. So, I had fun. It was fun. Y'all, everyone who's listening should go. It's a fun, kitschy time. And
just don't drive over any bridges.
Good luck getting there.
And don't drive more than an hour to go to it.
I mean, heck, I had to drive more than an hour to get. Just a little under an hour, really.
I was getting ready to say, if it took you more than an hour, you were not at your house when you left.
Yeah,
because it shouldn't take you right at that number.
It was a little. All right, let's move on. Enough about the Mothman Festival. Today, let's start. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the Ministravaganza stuff. So, there are several. What Brad has pulled up on his screen right now are 3 boxes of new models that are going to be coming out in the relative to near future. A box for Bishop and Nightcrawler, a box for Iceman and Shadowcat, and a box for Professor X and the Shadow King. We can see all of these models now, and boy, do they look great. I really like the Shadow King in particular. Looks really cool.
We already knew about these. The reason that I even brought up the image is, one, I'm very excited. And two, to remind me that we got one character reveal from each of these boxes, the cards. So the plan right now for requests, for episodes, is to keep going through the core box and then do the reveals from Ministravaganza. But we always take requests over that. So if you're listening out there and you want to hear our take on a particular character from the reveals or the errata,
Can
request
I make a
it.
request?
That's unorthodox, but what's your request?
I would like to talk about Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that stuff.
We are gonna do at least a brief thing for every character.
Yeah, no, I want to do a full thing.
You want to redo Daredevil?
I do.
I see why, because he is probably one of the most changed models in the errata. So, I mean, we'll talk about him today, and if you want to redo him, I'm not against it.
I don't think that should be high on our priority list unless someone out there wants to hear it. So let us know.
Yeah, we don't get to make those choices, Brandon, because we get paid.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk to our union leader.
All right. Well, so those on top of that, why don't you pull up the next image there, Brad, or bring us to the next thing that we are going to be covering? Yes, the organized play kit for Mojo Ball was also
not organized.
What was that?
Not. Oh, it does say organized play kit. It's not like the other ones. Though.
Organized play kit.
It's not like the other ones. This one, your store does not have to order and give you for free or whatever. This one you can buy just like you buy the models, which is new and different. So everyone can buy this kit.
Yeah.
For a question, is this going to be similar to Guild Ball?
In some ways, in the fact that it is kind of a soccer rugby game, but they talked about how this was played in one of the other panels. So the extracts, you go and pick them up, and you can pass them around, and you're trying to get them to a goal. There are no secures. And they have like special tactics cards and that you can use. And they called them plays or playbooks or something like that. And instead of your normal leadership, there are like team leaderships of some sort that you get for this game mode.
Like leaderships on a card, like Corvus or Convocation.
I would. They didn't go into a lot of detail, so I don't know.
Okay, because I missed it. That's what my curiosity is about.
Yeah, this it sounds interesting. Like a new way to play. That's what that whole panel was about, where they talked about this, was all the different ways to play the game.
How many others are there?
Well, they just talked about like Ultimate Encounters is a way to play the game, and the kits like this, and their like new Premiere format, which they gave a little bit more information on, and just stuff like that.
Okay.
This was the only like spoiler.
I think I'm going to have to go back and do a rewatch on the Twitch or the YouTube about this, so I won't take it any more time. So.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. I get so little time to actually play games anymore that I don't know This will be something that would be a fun aside style of play, the Mojo Ball.
That's what they were going for.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Why don't we move on to the next thing that you want to cover? All right. So these look like this is two terrain packs. They are from the Wakanda setting. The Kingdom of Wakanda terrain pack and Icons of Bast terrain pack. And I think we've known about these, right? We've seen these before.
Yes, we have. But they're starting with these packs. They're going to be some brand new things added to the game, which is the next slide, but I'll get to that in a second. It's cool terrain.
Yeah, yeah. It is just general. I mean, there's a cool truck in there, and some cat statues.
It's a
I guess
vibranium
Bast statues.
hauler, Fred.
It is a
Yeah,
How
vibranium.
much
yeah.
the train packs are?
All right.
What'd you say, Brandon?
Do we know how much they are?
No. We do not know the price on these.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they are coming with the one shot.
Here, this thing. So they each have a one shot that is associated with them.
I think there might be more in the
and-
box. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Like more than just the one that's coming?
More than what they showed. They're also making these
okay.
for like old terrain, and every terrain pack going forward will have these.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. This is interesting. So I'll start off with the vibranium. The first thing that's interesting is that they modify the threat of the game that you're playing if you use them. In this one that's called Vibranium Spill, it doesn't modify it at all. But in the Panthers Stood Watch, it reduces the threat by 1 for the game. Which is I'm assuming that these are played alongside the general normal objectives.
It's on top of a normal game. It's also meant for casual play, not tournament play. Now,
Right, because this probably really strongly affects a game quite a bit.
I think it would also be fun to have these at like a unrated for fun tournament and have each table have one of these in the appropriate terrain. That would be cool.
That would be cool. You're right. So for the Vibranium Spill one shot, do we want to go through these entirely? I'm
No.
more than willing
Let's
to.
sum
Okay.
them up.
All right. Okay.
So, I have read these
Yeah,
before. Would you like me to sum them up, Fred?
Yeah, go ahead and sum them up.
So the vibranium spill, you've got the hauler and you've got the little vibranium containers everywhere. And you go get the vibranium containers and you put them on the hauler. And when you put them on the hauler, you add 1 die to its attack rolls this round per canister removed. So if you go grab 3, put them in, you get plus 3 dice on your attacks this round. Which should be really good on something like a Bucky.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
Or a
it's just
Venom.
like a ham. It's like a 1-round hammer, right?
Yeah,
So everybody's better with a hammer.
Yeah.
that's true.
And then the other one is the Panthers Stood Watch.
Yeah, so when the Panther can see you, so within range 3 in line of sight, when you suffer damage, you get an extra power. And then when a character becomes dazed or KO'd, that character's controller takes one of the statues and places them within 2 of where that character dazed or KO'd. So they move around when they see people get dazed.
Yeah, so it's an interesting way to get additional power and to move a big terrain piece around.
Yeah. The vibranium. Speaking of moving the terrain piece around, the vibranium hauler can't be destroyed.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
With this card out, and presumably it's like size 4. So imagine Magneto on that table just throwing that hauler around over and over again. It moves when you throw it, but it does not get destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
you place
weird.
it within one of the character you threw it at.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I think these will be a lot of fun. And I think it'll be one of those things where I'm going to want to put these in my casual games all the time, just to shake things up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If a terrain pack is gonna have this kind of content in it, I am way more likely to buy that terrain pack.
That's probably part of their plan. And once again, they are making these cards for their previously released terrain packs. So
because the Quinjet didn't sell very well. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And it might have cool rules that people will play with. I have a
Quinjet.
I need to finish
I'm assuming
Hydra stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming that, but I would imagine that's why they're doing it, because you got to give a little juice, you know.
They were joking that Will Pagani's the one that like has designed most of these. He loves them, and they're joking like that Will Schick will be like, I need 6 of these, and he's like, but I already have 12, and he's like, okay, I guess that's fine. I have 24 now. Okay, that's plenty. I have 48. He just keeps making them because he keeps thinking of cool stuff to do. So I'm all for having 48 of these to choose from and play.
Can you imagine having a table with 48?
No, you don't play them all at once. You at most I think 2. 2's like
48. No. I'm just saying 48 of the size 1 barrels.
Oh,
just that.
I bet the ones,
oil refinery, go.
I bet we're gonna get one for barrels that like very simply just makes them do more damage or splash damage when they're thrown or something, because that's so simple.
Cause incinerate.
Yeah, just something like little even.
All right. Well, that is interesting, and I'm excited to see what else comes of this as a new way to affect the game. Let's move on to the next thing that we're about the. Okay, so, oh boy, tell me about these models here, Brad. So what I'm.
Go ahead and describe what you're looking at for
sculpt.
the audio listeners.
Okay. Well, what I'm looking at are sculpts of what appears to be a Spider-Man who has a hoodie on, and next to him is a female Venom. Is it a? I'm assuming that this is some sort of symbiote. Oh, does she have a giant guitar as well?
That's not her
You've
guitar.
seen this person before.
Yeah.
Who is this?
This is Gwenom.
Gwenom?
That guitar is Carnage Mary Jane's guitar, and is optional. You don't have to put it on the bass. The reason these two are here, even though we've seen them before, is we completely forgot to talk about them during the last reveal, because we were busy talking about X-Men and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
The other one,
yeah, we were busy talking about X-Men, not just Brad.
Yeah, everyone in this podcast loves X-Men. The other one is Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was in the second Spider-Man movie, the Cross the Spider-Verse.
You're
or
gonna need to be
whatever.
more specific about what second Spider-Man movie you're
Yeah,
referring to.
the Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse movie. He was
There you go.
voiced by
There you go.
Andy Samberg.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I knew you would know who it was if I told you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
these
Well,
models are
so that
coming,
was-
and that's all we know. They're coming.
Yeah. Gwenum and
Gwenum.
the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
All right, move us along. Even though these models look awesome,
They do look
I really
good.
like them both. Okay. All right. So this is something that is exactly what Steven predicted would happen. There's going to be a new Thor, and we're seeing the model now.
2 new Thors.
Yeah, there's Thor and the Mighty Thor.
And I think, Steven, you also predicted that Thor would be 6 points, didn't you?
I think I did. Yeah.
And this is a 6-point Thor.
Yep. New Thor, everyone. Do we know who the other two are?
Yes.
I know that this is a Loki, but it's
It
a different
is.
Loki.
It is pure evil Loki. It's like old school, I'm completely evil Loki. When they were talking about
Out of mayhem.
Yeah. When they're talking about designing models, they talked about a couple where they want them to feel like they are a pain in the butt to play against without making them a bad
Negative.
experience, like a really negative experience. And they said this Loki is walking that line.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm predicting this will be a 5 threat Loki.
Yeah, we don't know yet what that is. The other one's Sif, who was in the
Yeah,
Thor
Ah.
movie. And
Now,
All right.
I really
I'm
like
surprised
that
they-
model.
yeah,
Thor
I'm
movies.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put the Warriors 3 with her, but
I think
we
we'll
don't
get
know
a Warriors 3 box of the 3 of them.
kind of like Commandos.
No, I think they'll be separate bases. They may be like the Commandos, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, these all look great. All 4 of these models look really good. And I'm excited to see what happens to the Asgardian faction when you add all 4 of these.
Possibly 2 new affiliations.
Okay. What affiliations?
Well,
What
like
are you thinking?
like affiliation leadership. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna say I don't know which ones you're. But yes,
You think
you're correct.
Thor and
Possibly
Mighty
2
Thor?
new affiliation bonuses.
Well, this means we haven't seen a Rune King Thor, which could get into the 7s or 8s.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next slide that we've got going. Okay. Okay. So, what I'm looking at here are Asgardian terrain pieces.
They sure are.
They're very cool looking Asgardian terrain pieces,
They
but
are.
that is, I am as excited as I can get about terrain.
Well, what the Wakanda did, that's probably what we should expect from these, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
They will.
They confirmed that they will have special rules that you can play
Yeah.
with.
And that's cool. I look forward to seeing what the special rules are, but we don't know what they are yet.
Yeah. These are on here not because they're exciting, but because I don't think we've seen these yet at all. So this is brand new.
I have not
Just-
seen these until right now.
Yeah, it's just like the Asgard stuff.
Yeah.
Next.
Next up is it's the bigger piece of terrain for
Yeah,
Asgard.
It's in a separate box. But it's more terrain. That's
I
what it
like
is.
that they made this terrain so that characters can be on it I guess it's actually on a lot of it you can't, because I don't think you can land on the steps. I don't think you can have a character just sitting on the steps.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Oh well. All right. Well,
Unless they have special rules for it.
yeah, maybe. I retract my statement. It would be better if this were a giant box.
It does look cool.
It does
that's
look
just-
cool. It looks cool.
There's just a lot of overpriced terrain coming out in this game.
Yeah. They have to
We'll
justify it with those rules.
It feels. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's
Next.
see the next slide. Okay. So these are. Have we seen these before?
No.
I don't think we have.
Nope.
Yeah. So who are these characters, Brad? Because I don't
Well,
know who
first-
the one on the right is.
First, describe them.
Okay, so what I'm looking at is a woman with a tactical rifle who is sprinting across a battlefield that is being shot at in the process and looking totally badass. The second one is what appears to be some sort of martial artist warrior who has a nunchuck. Is that a nunchaku? I think.
Yes.
And he's got his foot on a dragon sculpture, and he looks really badass.
You said you didn't know who one was. Who's the one you know?
Is the one on the left Silver Sable?
Okay. So, and the one on the right is the one you should know because he had
Okay,
a
who's-
movie.
How you don't
Oh,
know that one
oh.
is hilariously embarrassing for you.
I've seen the movie and I like it.
We have talked about the
I-
movie on the
I
podcast.
cannot believe you knew Silver Sable and not Shang-Chi.
Do you know why I knew Silver Sable and not Shang-Chi?
Why?
Mm.
Nobody
Because
does.
directly underneath this picture in our Discord chat, you put, "Is that Silver Sable?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I knew.
Okay.
It is in
funny
fact
thing about
Silver Sable.
It
Funny
is
thing
Silver
is-
Sable.
funny thing about Silver Sable. I collected the comic. I had it for years. It was only like 36 issues. It only ran 3 years, and I know everything about Silver Sable. Don't worry, since we have Silver Sable, Doctor Doom is coming.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, because Doctor Doom has his own country, and Silver Sable has her own country, which they are neighbors and they are friendly. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Also, I expect grunts, which she had Silver Sable and the Wild Pack. Sandman is coming out. Okay. Sandman was the mercenary super that she had on her team to deal with other supers. This is where Sandman fought Venom, and Venom came out on the very bad end of it. She also had a couple of others like Battlestar and Deathlock, and she also hired a character in Spider-Man called the Paladin quite a bit.
Oh
So,
yeah. I knew
Anyway,
Paladin was related to her somehow.
yeah.
Uh,
So
There-
there's a lot that can come off of this.
there was talk during the in the discords during all of this that we might not be getting Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four because of rights, but I'm not sure how that works because they have the movie rights and they should have the miniatures rights because the last company that had the Marvel miniatures rights did make the Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure where
And-
people are getting that.
Well, the other thing is we will have a new villain that is quite associated with her. It's her ex-husband. His name is the Operative. He's like this huge super spy that is always nipping at her heels. So anyway, enough of my Silver Sable knowledge, I guess. So,
I mean, she's not a character. She's not a character I know a lot about, so
You certainly gave me some insight into her, seeing as how I've never heard her name before reading it in the Discord chat.
Oh, and then Sandman befriends another super in this one that was eventually hired by Silver Sable, a really big, strong guy named Finn. So anyway, like I said, I know too much about this character.
Shang-Chi.
All right. Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, they talked about how he's the best martial artist in the Marvel Universe and how designing that was interesting and that nobody's going to be able to guess what he does. So that's exciting.
But I want to prove it on the tabletop by taking him up against Danny Rand. So, white.
And then they also said that his abilities all have really fun names. And they gave an example that I don't remember. But
okay. All right.
Goose flies over a mountain during snowstorm.
That might have been literally the example they gave.
I just made that up. Yeah, I knew it had goose in it, but
yeah. Oh, next slide.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Oh, all right. So this is someone that I know that Brandon is excited about. This is another tease for the character Dracula.
Who?
I've only been requesting this for 2 years now. It's fine.
Who's Dracula, Fred?
He's a Dracula, is what he is.
Would also be a very likely 6+ character.
Oh yeah, I mean they could make him a 7+. We don't even see what his model looks like, so they could have some fun with his model.
I just want to point out for all you people like Brandon and Fred who are like, he's clearly 6 point, that Storm, who terraformed Mars, is only 3 points. So,
but Dracula will be a model like they do with Malekith, where they just probably overpower him, and it'll be like in a solo box.
Yeah,
that is my assumption that's how Dracula's going to come out.
They will bigify this.
He'll either have a super amazing model or kind of maybe come with terrain like Thanos did.
Terrain with rules.
Brad?
Yeah.
Brad, I have to say, though, that, we only have one version of Storm right now.
We do. And she's 3 points.
And to be fair, when that came out, they were very much on the 3 model train. Like everything that was coming out was 3. We didn't have a lot of. We had how many 6s did we actually have when X-Men came out? 3. And Magneto was the 3rd one.
Not very many.
And one of them came out at the exact same time. Yeah.
So. Thanos, Hulk, and Magneto. Yeah.
And Thanos came out right before it, and Magneto came out on the same day.
And Hulk was very bad.
Yeah, and it was a real bad Hulk.
Yeah. Boy, things have changed quite a bit.
Things have changed.
All right, so let's move the what is next on the agenda, Brad?
Next on the agenda is the reveals that came out the next day during a different panel that I wasn't watching because I assumed it wasn't going to be important.
Wait. Did we skip Warrior Falls by the chance?
Oh,
yeah,
there was
a big
before.
Oh, but we have the reveals for the characters now.
We do. We have Killmonger and King T'Challa.
Right, and they did Killmonger with a mask like I had predicted from the Vibranium Heist card that you saw. So
he looks really cool.
The mask is optional, so I don't imagine very many people are going to take the option of no mask, but it is optional.
Yeah, because faces are hard to paint.
And that mask is awesome.
It is very awesome. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's like when you choose to not give Beast the book to read. You're just being lame.
I have both.
Of course you do.
Have beast with book and beast without.
Don't you have a beast on a sprue too?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. You have a problem, Brad. You have a problem.
Let's not talk about
Do you want
X-Men. Let's move on. Until we talk about
Okay,
X-Men later.
Right. Okay, so do you want let's go over before we go over this, because what Brad has on screen right now are the erratas. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go over King T'Challa and Killmonger, because we have their cards.
I thought we were just
And
going to
just
do
real
full
quick-
episodes of them.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. That's probably the better way to do it. Never
Yeah.
mind. Well, we have the rules for King T'Challa and for the new Killmonger. We also have the rules for Nightcrawler, for Kitty Pryde, I guess technically Shadowcat. It's just those names. There's so many characters that are like Black Cat, Shadowcat, and now Shadow King.
Who's the other card?
Those names are gonna get. Yeah, and Shadow King is the other
And
card. we got.
Shadowland Daredevil.
Shadow. There's so many characters that start with Black and Shadow. It's gonna get confusing.
I'm glad we finally got a second Daredevil.
Yeah.
So it's not just Shadowland Daredevil anymore. It's really weird that they started
Right.
with Shadowland Daredevil, not regular Daredevil.
Speaking of which, let's go over these erratas. We're not going to go through maybe just real quick give our takes on the change.
Do you want me?
Because I think that
Do you want me to list
do you want me to
the changes
sure.
real quick?
Well,
Yes.
We'll have Brad go through the mutants first because he knows those really
No,
well.
I have a cheat sheet, and
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
looking at the cheat sheet too. Go ahead, Brad.
Okay, well you could do it.
Okay, well, all right. Amazing Spider-Man. He's the guy who is up on screen right now.
Yeah.
So his spender, which is whatever a spider can, reduced in cost to 4. And now whenever he rolls dice, if he rolled at least 1 critical, he gains 1 power. Is that
That should be it.
yeah, that's it. Okay. The next one is
No.
Black Bolt.
Let's talk about
Oh.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on that change? It's a pretty minor change, but it is a positive change for him.
Yeah, I think that extra power is a big deal
Yeah.
when he rolls crits,
That's
and that triggers off of witty banter.
I don't think
Okay.
he's good enough to see play in Web Warriors, but I think he's a lot better for defenders than he was.
Interesting. Especially with the other defenders change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The affiliation that needed the biggest boon got a little bit of help.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he's better. They made
he is better now.
Very minor changes.
It is a
Yeah.
minor change. It does help the thing that he's bad at, which is power management.
Yep.
Like, he gives him more power, which is what he needed.
The big
So-
thing all these changes really did is it took models on both spectrums of like way too good and not good at all and just kind of moved them closer to the middle
Yeah.
with
Which-
everything else.
That's what a good errata should do, in my opinion.
And
Yeah.
then I have a huge rant, but I'm going to do my best to contain it.
Yeah, I think I've got a pretty good idea of what it is, but I'll let you do your thing. Do you want to move on to the next character that we're going to be doing? All right, so Black Bolt. So he gained a Mystic defense. He gained another health on his healthy side, which was very good. His Energy Bolt gained +1 strength to 6, which is nice. That's actually very good also. Master Punch attack lost a power. His focus power is now an innate that grants him +1 power per turn, and he got a new reactive superpower. A king serves his people for 1 power, and it is bodyguard at attack range 2. This is a huge change. They changed him quite a bit.
You've got one. You've got one other change.
Oh, there's another one. What's the other change?
Whisper went from strength 9 to strength 10.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, yes, because I think that this cheat sheet was written on the healthy sides, and because Black Bolt gains an attack on his injured side, Whisper, they didn't mark that down, but that's correct. It even became more powerful. The Beam 4 Whisper.
This
Black Bolt.
This guy's a monster now.
He rules. They took him really hard.
He's a 5-threat character.
Yeah, they made him feel like a 5-threat.
And that's what they talked about in the thing that I went and watched later on, was that they said he didn't feel like a 5-threat character, and they wanted him to.
I'm not sure the other 5-threat that got errated feels like a 5-threat now.
Yeah,
but we'll get there.
Well, I'll tell you what. For people who play the Inhumans, they are happy. They are very happy today.
Okay, nobody was doing that, Fred, but some people might now.
That is false. We have people who play and are in our Discord that play Inhumans. So
he is so much better. I think that they may have overdone it. He's great now.
Well, they didn't change any of the other Inhumans, and some of them aren't great either.
Well, they changed Medusa.
Well, yeah,
a while ago.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
talking about on this one. So it's definitely a lot better, and you're not going to feel bad about taking him. Like
actually, that's not true. They did. They also changed Ronan.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
I forget Ronan's the part of the Inhumans. He's married, and he doesn't count that much.
I want to clarify something. His bodyguard, a king serves his people, is only on his his healthy side. It is not on his wounded side.
So about that, they said that the big play around with him was you just don't attack him and you never flip him, and then he just wasn't very good. So they wanted a way for you to actively get him flipped.
Yep. Smart.
Yeah. I thought that was a brilliant play.
I agree.
And when he can't guard his people when he loses control.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, he gets a little bit angry.
All right, let's move on to Black Cat. This one, I'm a little hurt. But it's probably needed to happen because she was probably a little bit too good. Well, the first thing, and this is actually a benefit, she now auto bleeds on her cat claws attack. It automatically causes bleed, which is good.
No, it doesn't. You have to deal damage.
Oh, right. There's not a trigger. I guess the trigger is dealing damage, is for that attack, which is a good benefit. It's nice to be able to give out bleed, but her Master Cat Burglar, which is
that was to help her in Midnight Suns.
Yes, it helps her with Blade. It makes Blade happy.
Yeah.
The thing that is why you bring Black Cat, called Master Cat Burglar, now costs an action. Also, Bad Luck got updated with modern wording, and includes that that attacking characters do not add dice for rolling crits when attacking her, which is very good. That's a very good way to write that.
Well, she has the best of both worlds because she's got they can't modify or add crit results, so she's better than Domino on defense.
Yeah,
that's true. Man, I'll tell you what, Master Cat Burglar becoming an action really hurts. It is.
Well,
It's necessary. It's something that needed to happen because she was probably way too good.
Probably.
What they did with this character is they expanded her play style, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of taking her just for Master Cat Burglar, you have to look at the whole thing and say, I want Troublemaker? And obviously the answer is yes. You know,
Right.
Cat Claws can do things for you, and
Not
she's more survivable.
Yes.
not changing Troublemakers all that really mattered to me.
Right. Troublemaker's still the same as it always was.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the part of the card that I use more than anything is just the range 3 get stagger out.
True. Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's
that's
absolutely
Black
still
Cat.
playable.
Absolutely still playable and still really good. Now,
Very good.
Blade.
All the Master Cat Burglar thing it's the same changes they did to what's her name last time.
Enchantress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the next character is Blade. And his throwing glaives on a hit gain pursuit. Which is before damage is dealt, this character may advance towards the target character's short, which is great. Holy crap! They made Blade even more mobile. I think this is a big change and a big benefit to Blade.
Unless you're pursuing into an energy attacker, but yeah, sure.
I mean, he's still got 3 defense against energy. He's not like Venom or Carnage.
I'm just.
You also don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. No, it was a pure little tweak that, you know, they were saying that he was kind of static in their games, so they wanted to give him a little something that could alleviate that. So outside movement's always good.
Yeah. Yeah. The next character that we are going to do is probably the biggest change in any of these.
We'll just give the floor to Brandon here.
Brandon, do you want to talk about this gentleman?
I can, yeah. I think I'm a big fan of this. This is something that was extremely needed for a long time. I don't have the cheat sheet ahead of me.
Do you want me to go through the cheat sheet real quick?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know most of mine. I would probably miss one. Like I know the baton hook changed. They may have added a really cool thing.
Okay, here I'll go through this. We're talking about Daredevil, the original Daredevil, the one that I think is the least played model in the game, or was one of the least played models in the game. He gained +1 physical defense. The baton hook attack now ignores line of sight, cover, and stealth, and its pull trigger changed to a hit result instead of was it a wild result? Is my guess. Yeah. Devil's Deliverance is now strength 6, and you add 1 attack die to it for each non-dazed enemy character within 2 of Daredevil. And he gained a Defender's Leadership. And the Defender's Leadership is called Marvel Knights. Once per turn, an allied character may re-roll a number of attack dice equal to the number of enemy characters within range 2 of itself. Man Without Fear, that is the affiliation bonus, I should say. He also gained Man Without Fear now lets Daredevil move towards the attack short, and then if within range 2, can make a strike attack, targeting the person who attacked him.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be damaged either.
Also, this also eliminates a possible affiliation down the road of Marvel Knights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's called Marvel Knights.
I don't think we're ever going to get Marvel Knights anyway.
I don't. I mean, I think they've done a good job recently of making just an affiliation bonus, like leadership, a smaller affiliation that probably didn't need to be in the game.
Yeah.
I think it's been really good. This is a big shakeup because this is how the defenders want to play. They have a lot of models that want to be very aggressive and fight, and this leadership is really, really good for that. And you don't have to play a 5-threat leader. And there's even something that's more happy for me because they made another model. There's another model that is now in this affiliation that is very, very good for the affiliation.
Oh yeah.
And who is that, Brandon?
Oh, that's old Frank Castle.
Ooh, you can't say
Cosmic
that
Ghost
anymore.
Rider. Cosmic Ghost
I
Rider.
said old.
What?
I said old Frank Castle.
Yeah, old man Frank Castle, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, are you saying that they also errated the affiliation for the Punisher?
They gave Punisher the Defenders affiliation.
I did not realize that, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
Blood Red
really,
and
really
Personal.
cool.
Blood Red and Personal just came online really hard.
Yeah.
Being able to play characters like Punisher and Iron Fist and Hulk and still being at 16 points in affiliation is really, really good.
19 points. Had Luke Cage with a double wild stagger, right?
Yeah, and then you have a 2-point affiliated model like Wong that can just heal everybody. It's gonna be, I don't know how good they're gonna be, but they're definitely not the worst affiliation in the game anymore.
Yeah.
Guess who else? Guess who else is the defender?
Who?
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And Valkyrie.
Wow.
The affiliation was entirely too big to not have a second leadership that's really good. Like they have a very aggressive roster, and this is super, super helpful for that. And this might be, you want to talk about a box that nobody bought before, and has just skyrocketed on both erratas.
What box?
Daredevil and Bullseye.
This box. Yeah, because what do you mean no one bought it? Everyone bought it.
Nobody bought it before the Bullseye errata.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, both erratas have skyrocketed the price of this box.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's a box that no one has probably been interested in now. People are going to be like, where do I get it?
Yeah, I will say this character's changes are going to be the most felt through the meta of this errata.
Fun fact, I have I agree with that statement 100%. I have a painted Daredevil and a painted Punisher that I can now play and feel good about.
Ooh.
Which for those who are new, it's not like me to have painted models, so.
I am no one to judge.
Fred's not allowed to chime in
here. What are
here.
you talking about, Fred? You have a fully painted Stark army for A Song of Ice and Fire.
I do have a fully painted Stark army that I did not paint.
Yeah, I was going to say, you kind of fell into that, right?
Are we done with Daredevil?
Right. I think so. I mean, the changes are all huge and massive and very positive. Daredevil came out of this smelling like roses.
He went from one of the worst models to a very playable model and a good model.
Yeah.
I also want to take issue with what Fred just said or was it Brandon? Someone just said that Daredevil was going to be the biggest meta change from this errata.
Oh,
I think that's wrong. I think this is the biggest meta change.
You might be correct. You might be correct.
Do you also know who else is the defender?
Who?
Magic.
Oh wow!
Is she really?
Yeah, she is.
Why?
And so that's the reason I bought that box.
And Clea is also, and so is Ancient One. Dude, all those models. Well, except for
Magic makes some sense, just not in the realm of the defenders that we currently have.
Yeah, but I mean, Daredevil's ability goes really good with Ancient One, because when somebody attacks her, if she has the power, she can pull somebody off a point, push them towards her. And then all of a sudden, this leadership becomes really, really relevant for her. So it's kind of breathing life into some new models. But okay, I'm done, I guess. Sorry.
That's okay. And you're right. That's probably what this errata is all about, is breathing life into into models that weren't getting enough attention, and also pulling back on some models that were a little too good. Speaking of which, the next character is Dr. Voodoo. And there were two big changes on this card. The first one is he lost his throw, his superpower throw, and it went on to his builder Spirit Venom attack on a hit trigger. So on a hit, he can throw the target short, as long as it is size 2 or less. That's not a good trigger. That trigger's tough to hit on 5 dice, probably. It
is the best one if you're gonna have 2 triggers.
Yeah, it's still you will no longer be guaranteed a throw on his activation, which is a huge change. The second change on his card is his possession now only interacts with extracts, and Recall Spirit is +1 power cost. It used to be 2 and it is now 3. And Brother Daniel token now comes back to Voodoo when he is dazed or the possessed character is dazed or KO'd. That's huge. That's tremendous.
There's one you missed.
Oh, what did I miss?
He cannot recall it during the power phase.
Oh
yeah.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I forgot he could do that.
He puts it out there and it stays out there until it becomes his turn to recall it if he wants it.
They fixed that, which was expected. Removing the throw was the unexpected part for me.
Yeah.
They must have heard me hype that throw up for every time we ever talk about him.
Man, I will tell you what.
They're big
Voodoo
Hit Wild listeners.
Yeah, everyone tell your friends.
They really hit Dr. Voodoo hard with the Staff of Legba. They did not. He's still good, but he used to be the most played 4-point model in the game, and he will not be anymore.
He's still very aligned towards the top of 4 threats, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's still really good, and it is cool. He can theoretically throw 2 models that are size 2 in the same activation, but that's unlikely.
3 with Siege of Darkness.
3 with Siege of Darkness. Again, unlikely, but possible.
Correct. But I think what it comes down to is he's very much where he's supposed to be, and he's not being taken just for the brother Daniel has to be a tactical asset now, right? It just can't be willy-nilly all over the place.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this was a necessary change. As someone who regularly plays Dr. Voodoo, I'm disappointed, but it's something that needed to happen, and I'm not salty about it.
But you play Midnight Suns like I do, then that's where he's affiliated, and that's where you expect him.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's supposed to be
we're talking. Why is he with Black Order?
Right.
He was in my X-Men list.
Yeah, he was. Will he be now?
To be determined.
Yeah,
TBD.
Exactly.
There's a lot of X-Men that are around now. He's gonna have to choose a lot of him over a lot of different mutants to make that list.
Yeah.
Well, the next one I'm kind of excited for.
Yeah, let's talk about Elektra. So Elektra's physical defense went up by 1, and her ancient throwing blades are now a gainer. which was very important because she had no way. She really was power starved. She had no builder, no gainer, nothing to gain power from an attack.
Wow.
Unless she does, I think there's the what is it? Out for blood. Yeah, if she does damage, she gains a power. Now that ancient throwing blades are a gainer, I think that she goes from being an F model to being at least playable.
Yeah, she's at least a C now, right?
She brings.
I don't know. Yeah, she brings grunts, which is
if you want to play Electra, you can now play her and not feel bad, but she's still not great.
Also a defender.
So yeah, she's still at the bottom of that list. There's a ton of defenders.
Guys, here's what happens, and this is going to be a little dive into my everyday life. It was the end of the semester. Electra was failing MCP class, and she went up to her teacher, and she's like, "Is there anything I can do to raise my grade to passing?" And Will Schick, the teacher, said, "Yeah, you can make yourself a gainer and gain 1 power, and I'll pass you."
Also, her ancient throwing blades lost bleed.
Oh, they lost bleed. Okay. Okay.
Next character is kind of exciting too.
Yeah, the next character is someone who also needed a lot of help. Hela, Queen of Hell. All right, her Hell Forged blade gained +1 range. The Cursed Soul. Wait, what is it? Is it Cursed Soul?
No, it's Claimed Soul.
Okay, well, this cheat sheet has a typo in it. Claimed Soul went down 1 power. Reign of Hell went down 1 power. Army of Hell can only be used on Hellforged Blade or Reign of Hell, and she gained a new superpower, Death's Embrace, for 2 power. Advance a character short toward
advance this character
short. Sorry. If within range 3, after the move. Oh wow, this is poorly written. Let me read the actual one. Sorry. Death's Embrace. Choose an enemy character within range 3. Advance this character towards the chosen character short. Then, if this character is within range 1 of the chosen character, roll 4 dice. For each crit and wild in the result, the chosen character suffers 1 damage. For each damage suffered this way, this character may remove 1 damage, and this superpower can be used only once per turn. That's really awesome. That's a really good superpower.
Yeah,
for only 2 power.
Superpower movement, right?
Yeah, and damage.
Right. Well,
heal.
And heal. Yeah. That short movement. She's got a medium base. She's got a 50 millimeter, so it's not exactly a small amount of space you're going to cover.
Yeah.
She can do this turn. She can do this turn 1.
If there is an enemy within range 3.
Well, if they're going to the center line, they will be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really good. I think they made Hela playable, which is...
Yeah, plus you got the Asgardian healing on top of that.
Yep.
And who knows what the other leaderships will have.
Right. I guess we'll find out.
She's really good in Spider-Foes now.
Ooh. Okay. I actually am now thinking about putting her into stuff. I'm excited. The changes to Hela were very good. They made her very good. Okay, the next up is Malekith. All right. So Malekith got hit hard by the Nerf hammer again. This is his 2nd time being hit.
Third.
It's his 3rd time being slapped by the Nerf hammer. He lost 1 stamina on his healthy and injured sides. Went from being 10-8 to being 9-7. The Blade of Midnight has lost Pierce, and Ferocity can now only throw characters size 3 or less. That's so unfortunate. That's because that was one of the best parts about his character is you could pick up any size and throw it at your opponent. I really wish that it had said 4 or less instead of 3 or less, but
well, they explained that in the stream.
Oh, did they?
He's a bully. He doesn't tend to pick on things his own size because in the comics at least.
Okay.
You know, he's cruel. Okay. He's like somebody who picks on weaker things.
Yeah.
So when confronted with bigger things like Hulks, okay, he's got to stand there and fight against them. Is basically what they said.
Okay.
I still have not played. I still have not played against Malekith, and now I am not that worried about playing against Malekith.
I don't think you have to worry about playing against Malekith anymore.
Yeah, I'll say this hurts Malekith quite a bit. I like Malekith. This
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One of his best tricks was throwing like a Hulk or a Sentinel into other stuff. That was one of the best things that he had going for him.
One of Voodoo's best tricks was possessing 6 people in a turn.
I mean, right? Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm not saying this didn't need to happen because I in our particular meta in the group that we play with, there are very few people who play Malekith. In fact, it's been me alone for a little while.
And the thing is, his leadership, right? Okay. It's definitely a pick on small people leadership, right?
Yes.
So it fits thematically.
Yeah, it fits thematically. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. They have hurt him a lot, and he's a 7-point character, a 7-threat character, who now they took him from being a really great 7 points to probably maybe about right for being 7 points, or maybe a little bit underwhelming for 7 points. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you still got a 7-dice builder.
Yeah, he's still good.
You have a beam that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, still Butcher of Thors, right?
Right.
So, I mean...
he's still good. I'm not saying he's bad. He's still good.
I mean, you're going to probably try to use your other attacks now instead of just Blade of Midnighting everybody.
Yeah. I was using Blood Boil quite a bit in my games. Yeah, all right. Well, that was Malekith. Next up is Ronan the Accuser. He gained +1 stamina on both of his sides. And oh boy, that's it? Is that the only change? I think it is. He just gained stamina. At least according to the cheat sheet, that is the only change that has occurred on his character.
Yeah, they did a misprint on his Creed Justice, which actually cost 4. So.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's corrected in this PDF now, but it was temporarily 0.
Oh,
yeah.
well.
And everybody was like, what?
And I misread it at first. I thought he gained stun and stagger if he did any damage. And I was like, okay, that's fair. He gets stunned and staggered if he does his free 8-die attack. But then I read it correctly, and I was like, that can't be right.
Right.
That's a really good attack.
There's not much to talk about here. They made him healthier. That's big and important, and now he's got a lot of hit points for a 4-threat model. He's got 14 hit points for a 4-threat model.
He can take on bigger models a little bit easier.
Yeah. So that's good. Also, something I've just never known about Ronan is he's size 3.
Yeah, he's
a
not
big boy.
small. Yeah, he's not small.
Okay. Well, moving on from Ronan, the next person is Taskmaster. The only change is that shield throw is now a gainer.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's nice. That makes me more likely to play Taskmaster. I've always felt that Taskmaster is he's fine and there's nothing wrong with him, but he is outshone by another character who is at the same point cost and is also a rogue agent. And I think that has been fixed by A, this errata, and B, another errata that's coming up later.
Right. So there's a choice now.
Yeah, now it is more of a choice between the two. Okay. So that's it for Taskmaster. He gained a gainer. Next up is Thanos. And the only change that happened on Thanos is that Cosmic Portal can now only be used once per turn. And thank God.
There's another relevant change that's not in this document.
Oh, there is? What's the other change?
There are now no restricted gems. They all left
Ooh.
the restricted list.
Okay. Well, there you go. Now you can bring all the gems you want without affecting your ability to bring patch up or brace.
I like that change a lot because that change really hindered Black Order for no real reason.
Right. This was the change that was needed.
Oh.
Yeah. Cosmic Portal can only be used once per turn. And there it is.
I faced Thanos 3 times in my games that I've played, and I've killed him every time, so I don't know what people are complaining about.
All right, that's Thanos. Next up is Thor, Prince of Asgard. He gained +1 defense. +1 mystic defense, sorry. +1 stamina on his healthy side. And God of Thunder attack now causes shock automatically. And he has gained the immunity.
It's also 2 cheaper.
Oh, it's 2 cheaper.
Yeah, it used to be 6.
Boys. Okay, yeah, that's a big change. And he gained immunity to shock and stun. All good. And especially God of Thunder going from 6 to 4 is a huge improvement.
Yeah, he's
this model is a lot better.
Yeah.
He's a good 5-threat leader now. So
okay. That's all we have to say about Thor. Next up is Winter Soldier. All right. So Winter Soldier, his assault rifle attack now only triggers rapid fire off of a wild instead of a hit. And Red Fury can only push size 3 or less. This is a huge change and a very good, I think an important change, because you are much less likely to get a wild on 4 dice than you are to get a hit.
There's another important change.
Oh, what's the other change?
They changed the spelling of Spetsnaz training.
Oh, they did. Okay.
So that means
why is that important?
Because the card that in Hydra and Cabal he gets a bunch of bonuses has this spelling on it.
Okay. Okay.
So you can use that card with this Bucky.
Okay, I see.
The other thing is you have to push to get your second assault rifle attack. So he will not be pushing Hulk and then lighting him up with assault rifle fire.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Then immediately make an assault rifle attack targeting that character. Does it?
You have to push.
If they are size 3 or less, the target character is pushed away from this character short. then immediately makes an assault rifle attack. There's a period.
Yeah.
Are you
Doesn't
sure that you have to
matter.
push?
That was clarified. You do have to push.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Okay.
people would bring Indomitable just for that reason.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I will say this. I think he's still good. I think Winter Soldier is still great. He still has got your back. He still has a range 5 assault rifle that can trigger rapid fire on a wild. And on a wild, you gain bleed as well. I think he's still very playable. They just made it so he won't be in every single roster like it seemed like he was. Was it does everyone else have anything to say?
No. Well, let's get on to the most broken character in the game.
Okay, and finally we have Wong, who got an adjustment. He gained +1 physical defense, and Servant of the Sorcerer Supreme now works for both Doctor Stranges. They changed it to be Stephen Vincent Strange instead of Doctor Strange.
Right. So yeah, he's a 4/4/4 when he's within 3 of any of the Stranges. So he'll never be killed again.
And you can actually play the good Doctor Strange now in the Defenders and have a leadership. Listen,
Yeah.
guys, all in.
I think that someone on this cast will take issue with you saying the good Doctor Strange.
Right.
That was the point. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying.
All right, I'll say this. Okay, so Wong, yeah, those are nice changes. Those are just like some clarification, and giving him +1 physical defense is good. What is everyone's final takeaway from this errata? Let's do
Fred's
final
acting
thoughts.
like there aren't a bunch more models we have to do.
Are there more?
Fred, we haven't done a single mutant yet.
You just raised the ire of Brad. You're in trouble now.
Why are the mutants not in alphabetical order?
They are in alphabetical order.
Yeah, well, they're not in the. Okay, well, I guess we got to do Cable now, and they're also not on this cheat sheet that I'm looking at.
They were segregated like they were in the comics. Okay, Fred.
Oh yeah, they are. Here they are.
There's mutant kind, and then there's other kind, and they separated them out like the segregationist in the comics.
So the person who made this PDF is a Sentinel. It was made by a Sentinel.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about Cable. Cable gained +1 stamina on his healthy side. His plasma rifle gains if target is within range. He can re-roll up to 2 dice in the
3.
attack roll.
Range
yeah,
3.
I hate this. Okay, within range 3, he may re-roll up to 2 dice in the attack roll. Ascani's sun went down by 1 power. It used to be 6, it is now 5. Wetworks leadership. The Wetworks leadership now lets you re-roll skulls, and if the enemy character is within range 3, they do not benefit from cover during the attack. That is very good. Each allied character may re-roll. So is that every attack made by this faction?
No.
Okay.
Once
per turn. Once per turn. Okay.
So once per turn, they can re-roll a skull.
Okay.
Or anything else, but.
Well, but I know about the once per turn for re-rolling the skull, but what about the while within range 3 they do not get cover? It's in a different sentence. If they do, and the enemy characters within, if they do, okay.
They have to do the re-roll to get the no cover.
I see. It says if they do at the beginning of that sentence. Okay. Brad, you know the most about Cable. What are your thoughts?
Wait, before you do that, there's one other change.
Oh, what's the other change?
Ascani's sun on the backside does not auto-stagger anymore.
Oh. Okay.
I'm gonna be trying out some more X-Force again to see how this pans out. It seems like these are all great improvements with the other changes that were made, and maybe X-Force might get played now. That's a lot of maybes and mights.
X-Force got 4 characters upgraded.
X-Force has been on the fence for a while. I think this might put them over.
I would like to see that. That would be great. Would love to see some X-Force.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Colossus is next. Colossus's X Slam attack increased its range by 1. Organic Steel now says, additionally, this character cannot be pushed by enemy effects. And did his movement speed change as well to medium?
It is
his
now
movement
medium.
speed is now medium.
And
whomever made this cheat sheet did not do a very good job.
It's on one of the other pages, the medium move. What's not on there is Big Brother. You now have to be within 2 of the target making the attack now, right?
It's a Luke Cage taunt.
Okay, so it's now
range 2. Yeah. So now it's like Luke Cage, not like Captain America.
It's back to back. It's bad bodyguard instead of good bodyguard.
Yeah.
So does that leave Captain America with the only good bodyguard?
And doesn't Okoye has it.
Okoye has it. Black Bolt has it now.
Yeah, Black Bolt has it now. His is actually the best because it's only cost 1.
But they said on the cast that they wanted Colossus to get up in the fight into somebody's face, you know.
Yeah, this changes how Colossus plays. He doesn't want to stay back and help people. He wants to get up and punch people now.
He's an aggressive brawler now.
Yeah. I mean, this is Brad. What are your thoughts? You know the most about mutants.
I'm definitely going to be testing them out. I mean, this is great. This may be what he needed. The medium movement by itself is huge because, like, that was the biggest downside of taking him in X-Men was that slow move. But now he is almost as fast as Beast, basically. He doesn't have extra movement, but and a lot sturdier.
The inaffiliation 4 threats for mutants got a lot better.
They sure did.
Okay. Next up is someone who changed a lot. Okay, Cyclops. Cyclops' Optic Blast attack gains a new trigger, the speed of sight, on a wild and a hit. And after this attack is resolved, this character may make an additional Optic Blast attack. This additional attack may not target the original target character and does not have the speed of sight special rule.
Don't forget, his push got better on his Optic Blast too.
His push got better as well. What made it? What makes it? If this character
it was size 2.
It was size 2 and is now size 3. Okay. Also, Optic Devastation. Concussive Force has been replaced with Wild Suppression. After each attack is resolved, the target character loses 1 power. And for each wild in the attack roll... loses 1 power for each wild in the attack roll. Ugh. That is a beam 5. So that's...
Hey, Brett, did this attack go down in power cost too?
I don't think so. I think it was 4 before. It just was never used because of concussive. Concussive just wasn't very good.
Yeah. And they changed his affiliation bonus. Okay. X-Men Blue Leadership.
Before you do that, Field Leader also changed. It used to be range 3, I think.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah. Now it's range 4.
They've changed it now to range 4 for everyone who is listening. Okay, X-Men Blue, the new leadership. When an allied character deals damage to an enemy character with an attack, another allied character within range 5 of the attacking character may gain 1 power. After the attack is resolved, a character may gain only gains 1 power after the attack is resolved. A character may gain only 1 power as a result of this leadership ability per turn. I think that's substantially better than the old one.
It's so much better, Fred.
It's substantially better. Like, I mean, do you? All right, Brad, you're the guy who I'm gonna go to a lot with these X-Men. Are you gonna bring Cyclops? Are you gonna have him as a leader?
X-Men now have 2 leaders, and they have 2 play styles, and I can't be more happy about that.
Yeah.
This
is better.
I would be moping right now about Storm if this Cyclops change didn't happen.
It's a choice now, right?
Yeah, it's a legitimate choice, and they're better at different things. They're better at different secure shapes too. Like, they are actually complementary, and most of the X-Men like go-to models that X-Men have been playing forever, they work under this just as well. Like, you took X-23 in the scenario game because she got extra movement and was a little tougher to kill, but she works really good under Cyclops, giving other people power as she makes her murder attacks.
Yeah. I mean, this needed to happen, and this needed to happen last errata.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they've done it now,
still sucks as a character.
Brandon's out here trying to start fights.
Brandon, I was gonna say I know where you live, but that's not true anymore. So you're safe for now. You're safe for now.
All right, let's move on to the next character. The next character
I want to look at Cyclops more.
The next character is Deadpool. All right, so Deadpool's stab attack gained a wild trigger, stab, and after this attack is resolved, he can make another stab attack without using this rule. Bang has lost the bang rule, but it has turned into a gainer. And if you remember when we talked about Deadpool, we said one of the biggest things is bang should be a gainer.
Yeah, apparently in playtesting, I think it was Will Pagani used Deadpool in Cabal, and it was a gainer, and then he broke it.
Oh, yeah.
By gaining 1,000,000 power off of his bang, 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 bangs.
Yeah, and that's why it has lost bang, 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 but it is now a gainer. A huge improvement. A tremendous improvement. All right. He also gained an active superpower, which is you can't spell legendary without leg day, and place this character within range 2 of its current position. This superpower can be used only once per turn. Excellent. Also very funny.
It's kind of thematic too, because Deadpool used to be a teleporter.
He did.
Oh, really?
He had that. It was technological. He had a little belt buckle he could use to teleport.
Well, he can now teleport, and I gotta be honest. These are big improvements on Deadpool. This makes Deadpool way better.
Yeah, this is one of when I try out X-Force, he's going in the list. I'm gonna play him in Weapon X too. Give him another shot in there, because he was almost playable in Weapon X as he was. I think he'll be good in Weapon X now.
Well, the big question comes with the next character if Brad's going to play mutants.
Yeah. Well, why don't we move on to the next character, who is Jean Grey?
Got another health on his healthy side.
Oh, wait, what?
I said
What'd
I
you
wish
say?
he would have got another health on his healthy side.
Me too. I agree, but
He's
I
only
mean,
3 threat. I mean,
yeah,
with a healing factor.
yeah.
Healing
All right,
factor
so
doesn't really matter when you only have 4 health, though.
It does if you have a chimichanga.
Listen, I'm all about the chimichangas.
all right,
Oh,
Jean
speaking
Grey
of
got it.
chimichangas, one of our listeners gave some good Deadpool tech before this. Play chimichanga, use mission objective to put it on Doctor Strange. I don't remember. I think it's the good one, the new one, in Convocation, and then he's gaining 4 power a turn and healing. And probably never dies.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
that is excellent tech. That is a use for chimichanga that I would have never thought of.
Let's talk about Jean.
All right, Jean Grey. So psionic. Oh, excuse me. Her gainer attack or builder attack, psionic bolt, gains skull trigger pierce. Telekinetic force, her spender, reduced in power by 1. Her latent physical potential now says +2 power during the power phase. Yeah, so she gains 2 additional power during the power phase,
Latent
which is the biggest
psychic
thing.
potential, not physical.
Latent psychic. Is that... okay, in my defense, the cheat sheet absolutely says physical potential. It is latent psychic potential, everybody.
Right. Never follow lemmings.
Hey, I'm trying to do my best and read and talk at the same time. I'm sorry.
Doing great, Fred.
Latent psychic potential. And it has gained... I mean, all right, Brad, what are your thoughts? You know the most about this character.
So I built a list.
Is that enough to fix her?
I built a list trying to try out these new models. And I put her in the list. I don't know if it's enough. I don't think it is.
She does not count skulls, which it makes it weird that there is a skull trigger for her psionic bolt.
Yeah.
He almost feels like a 4 threat now instead of a 3 threat, though.
That's true. But she's 5.
Right.
I don't think she
closer.
makes lists. I don't
think she's good enough either.
There might
What
be
about that new? What about that new card?
The card makes her better, but cards are at such a premium.
Well, you can run her, Cyclops, Colossus, and Wolverine, who all got touched in this update, so that you can run Fastball Special, Jean, and the new Psychic card.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Do you hear how excited he sounds?
So you can play good cards.
She's going to build so much power in Cyclops's affiliate leadership. Plus, she starts with 3 power after the power phase. So I mean, she's online.
I'm gonna test her, but she doesn't look like she's a 5 threat. She just doesn't.
Well, no matter what, giving her latent psychic potential where she gains 3 power during the power phase instead of just 1 is a huge improvement.
She's not immune to stun, so...
True.
Or poison.
Or poison. Poison's not as big of a deal, but stun hurts a lot.
Well, when you stun and poison somebody at the same time, it is a big deal.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, that's Jean Grey. Next up is Storm.
Sorry, Fred. I temporarily forgot that I was in charge of moving the thing.
That's all right. Storm, her hurricane attack gained 1 strength, I should say, not power. And the X-Men Gold leadership no longer grants cover. The defender can now just roll 1 defense. What is it saying? Okay.
Reroll 1 defense dice.
Reroll 1 defense dice. Eye of the Storm reduced in power by 1 as well.
And
the storm cost of power.
And yeah, the teleport has to. You have to pay 1.
And it costs a power to teleport.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta stop using this thing. This thing's useless. All right,
No,
so
it's not completely.
Eye of the Storm.
Brad.
I know. What are your thoughts, Brad? You've played her more than any other person on the planet.
The power for the teleport is rough. It doesn't actually, because of first class and the fact that Angela is a Asgardian, it doesn't actually get rid of any of the like really broken first turn extract plays. Except grabbing an extract and doing a flip after the teleport, a pay to flip. You can't do that anymore.
Right.
And all the other extract plays, you don't end up with a power still on your character. You have to use all your power now.
Yeah.
But you can still teleport with Beast, go up, grab the middle extract, and then back up with Beast. Like, that's still on the table. He just doesn't end up with a power. The reroll's fine. It actually makes her better in Superpowered Scoundrels, strangely. Because she didn't really like that one, but now that's a little bit better. And they did up her output quite a bit. So Hurricane, a attack that you never did, got better. West Virginia has ruined me. And
I know. I keep calling it Hurricane Lee.
And then the extra 2 dice for 2 power was much needed. Like, the fact that still cost 3 power was ridiculous. So, like, she's fine. And it would suck if we didn't get a second leader. But we have a second leader, so it's fine. You just aren't playing her every time.
She's a little bit
you have
more
3 leaders?
Probably.
You can't
I
be
think
counting
that this
Hellfire
is...
Club, right?
No, Xavier has a leadership.
Oh, but we don't know what it is yet.
I thought you were talking about Cable or X-23 or Logan. So...
Yeah, your mutants have like 7 leaderships. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, X-Men only have 2, and they just got the second one finally. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the... Yeah, I think that the storm changes needed to happen. It's fine. Next up is Wolverine. Wolverine gains +1 stamina on his injured side, and the best at what I do, reduced cost by 1.
And you can use either attack at the end of it.
Okay.
It used to just be his what's it called? Builder. Just his builder.
Adamantium slash.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts here? Is that enough to make him playable? Are those changes enough?
So
Can you pick up extracts now?
What?
Can he pick up extracts now? Did they change
No,
that?
they did not change that.
He can still contest
He
objectives.
can still contest, but he cannot pick up. So I would say that this would make him playable if Logan the Wolverine wasn't in faction.
Right.
Did he gain a place on his Berserker Barrage?
No, that's always been there.
It's always been there?
Yeah. Because you could place and throw, and that was really good. But that's what you do on Logan's Gainer. Well, if you charge. You place, and then if you charged, you also get it. Now, Berserker Barrage, after the best at what I do, and rolling a bunch of wilds is going to feel really good. But...
Especially on his injured side?
yeah, the extra health on his injured side is really making wild range actually matter. Because before he'd go from full health to dead, and now he may go from full health to 1 health left and then get 5 extra dice.
Yeah.
And on a Berserker Barrage with the best of what I do, that's going to be devastating.
Yeah.
You want to do 20 damage in 1 hit? This is the guy.
So, and all that's great, except Logan can do the same thing just all the time.
Yeah.
He can put out a million damage and doesn't need
I think
all
that
this.
What you're landing on is that this makes this Wolverine better. It's just still not better enough to justify not taking Logan.
Yeah. Logan.
Well, it all depends.
Now I'm going to try this Wolverine out, and maybe I'll be a little bit surprised, but maybe not.
Okay.
He's definitely a pair up with Colossus now.
Yes. Yeah, because they can do the fastball special.
And Colossus can be up there with him, shaving attacks off.
Yeah.
If they're close to a person.
All right. So is that all of the errata? Is that the entirety of the errata?
Fred, you also got an errata.
I got an errata. What happened to me?
Your brain grew some extra wrinkles.
I mean, yeah, okay. Okay, so what is everyone's final takeaway here of this errata?
Cyclops good.
Cyclops, you can actually put Cyclops on the table now. Yeah,
absolutely, love that.
That's
very excited.
How about you, Brandon? Any takeaway? Are you muted? I think you're possibly muted.
It just didn't turn back on. It was down, but didn't turn back on. I think they did a really good job of moving all the models back to like closer together.
Yeah,
I think that was important. We had talked about that numerous times. I think that was the problem with the first errata is I don't think it did that. I think it just fixed bad and broken models. I don't think they were. I think this model is a lot more focused on bringing the parity together to where like if you want to play a model in this game, like you can play them now. Like there's not many models besides original Crossbones that are literally unplayable.
Right. Okay.
And they fix that in other ways by just giving us a completely different model.
And Steven, is there anything that you want to add about this errata?
Actually, 2 things. The first thing being Winter Soldier got changed again. Okay. So that shows that they're not afraid to look at a model, change them, and then change them again. I know Malekith got changed quite a few times, but it's a 7-threat model. It's kind of hard to balance, but Winter Soldier has been a staple for a long time. So I think they're seeing the willingness of them to go that direction. Maybe it happens to somebody down the road like Amazing Spider-Man. Maybe they think he's not enough, and then they change him again. So that's good news.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the Wild Wild West again because we have 11 new character revamps coming with the core set, right? They're all characters we know, but they're different. We have 6 mutants coming in. We have 4 spider foes coming in. We have 2 Wakandans coming in. I mean, this is, and then, let's see, that's 11, 17, 19, 23, okay, brand new iterations or new models. Plus, we have another 22 different variations on models that we already have. So that's 45 different models that are coming to the game technically. And that's about a third of the game, 30% of the game.
All changed this weekend.
A lot of lower level affiliations really like push their way up into the middle. It's getting to a point where the game's going to have a lot of 50-50 matchups pretty much across the board, which is where the game really needs to be.
I have one more thing about this errata. Before they announced the errata, they spent a lot of time talking about things they do to balance this game. Putting out new tactics cards, putting out new characters that work well with the characters. That like Sin, trying to make Crossbones better and all this stuff. And they kept saying, we only errata cards when there's an error. And we never errata cards for power level. We never do that. We never do that. And then they errated it. Then they're like, here's 22 characters we errated for power level.
Yeah.
I think
True.
they're trying to make the point that this is an absolute last resort and that we should not expect it very often.
Did they do that for power level or playability, do you think? Because I think it's more playability.
Well, yeah, but those go hand in hand. Like, you bring up the power level, it makes it more playable. You bring down the power level,
it makes it less abusive.
Yeah. So, you add... Taking down a model like Dr. Voodoo makes all your other models more playable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's not a lot of models left that are unplayable. I think Jean Grey is one of them still, and I think Crossbones is the other one. And then you've got like Sin, but like, and there's not really any super broken models. I have my own beefs with certain situations, but
Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
Beta Ray Bill's really good, but I don't think there's anything like super broken about him.
Brandon, you do not need to go into your rant. But what was your rant about?
Malekith.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was going to be.
There's no reason we have the Hulk errata and we have Immortal Hulk and Cosmic Ghost Rider being as good as they are, and then we're just going to keep punching Malekith down lower and lower.
Okay, I understand that to a point. We're going to drop this in just a second. I understand that to a point, but all those models haven't been terrorizing the higher level tournament scene like Malekith has recently.
Malekith is getting nerfed because of online people bitching about it.
I don't think that's true. I think it is because of one degenerate list that won't be around anymore.
All right.
That's it. That's all I had to say.
Well, that is it for the errata. It is. Let's rush through Crossbones here. All right.
Wait, we have a character to do?
Yeah, we've got a character to do.
Yeah.
But we're gonna through it because this is gonna be our longest episode. All right, Crossbones, Merciless Merc. His name is Brock Rumlow. His defenses are 4 physical, 2 energy, and 2 mystic. He has 6 stamina on his front side and 5 stamina on his wounded side. He is 3 threat, size 2, and he still is movement speed short. He has a beam 3 gainer called Plasma Beam. After each attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power. Beam 3, it throws 5 dice, and on a wild skull, it pierces. It has pierce. He has a spender called, it is a physical attack called Up Close and Personal. Range 2, it throws 8 dice and it costs 4 power. And after this attack is resolved, if the character is size 2 or less, this character throws it short. He has Hit and Run, which costs 2. As an action, this character can immediately make an attack action followed by a move action. This superpower can be used only once per turn. He has Wild Aggressive. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, if this character suffered damage, it may advance short towards the attacking character. And he has He has innate power, I Can Take It. When this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the damage suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. That is it for that is on. I think that's the same on both sides. The only difference is the stamina reduces by 1. Okay. I think that this is better than previous Crossbones by a pretty big margin. I think this is a playable Crossbones. I still don't think he's very good.
I think you nailed the nail right on the head, Fred. Way better, playable, still not that great.
Yeah, I
think he shines in the original Red Skull, actually.
Okay.
He would be making a lot of power.
Correct. Because he's got a beam.
And he gains a power for each attack, and then if he does damage, he gains a second power each attack.
Correct.
I think giving him hit and run is a big help.
Giving him a range 3 attack is a big help.
Yeah, a beam 3.
Aggressive is not a bad thing either. So.
And he has damage reduction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's serviceable.
He's fine. There's that 2/2
I think
defense
that he's
is kind of rough, but other than that,
yeah, it's real bad.
But he's got the reduction, so that helps.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon, is there anything you want to add in before I go into letter grades?
If he's affiliated with Criminal Syndicate, he's playable in that affiliation rather well.
My guess is that he will be.
Yeah,
I think he should be, and he's like, they got a pretty big improvement on 3-threat model. Like Black Cat getting nerfed, at least having this and a slightly better Taskmaster give you options at 3, which you didn't really have in affiliation. This is a really playable model under Kingpin's affiliation.
Does Sin's ability say Crossbones or Rock Rumlow?
My guess is it says Crossbones.
It says Crossbones.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
So does
it's something
rifle.
I expected that to be changed, and I'm actually kind of surprised that was not changed.
She should have been in that errata. Sin should have been in there. I think they just forgot she exists.
Or maybe they have a plan for another one coming out.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, well, let's give a letter grade to Crossbones, the Merciless Merc. I'll go first. I mean, what I said previously is my feeling. He's a substantial improvement on what I consider one of the worst models in the game. I think that they did a good job of giving him a lot of movement tools that help him get up the field, and they gave him a ranged attack that makes it at least he can reach out and touch someone who's range 3 away instead of just range 2. He's still movement speed short. I imagine he's still on a small base, which means that he will never be where you want him to be.
Beam 3 helps with that a lot.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
Same with hit and run. Like he has hit and run online, and you can use hit and run to move forward.
Yeah. He's improved. He's vastly improved. I'm gonna give him a C+. Is my letter grade. How about you, Brandon?
C+. That's exactly where I was.
Okay. Good to hear. All right.
Yeah, until I can put him on the table, I think a C+ is like really fair for him.
Okay. Brad?
I like the C+.
Oh my goodness, Steven, you better not do a C+. We're too positive. We're
really?
Two together.
I'm actually going to do a B-.
Okay.
For the fact that tactics card that he has is really, really good.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I would love to, like
yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
playing with I think getting him some play, especially under Kingpin with that tactics card with some of the changes, I think it's really positive for him.
I'm pulling up the tactics card now. We've got to go over that. Brock Rumlow. There he is. Dig in. Okay. So this is it is a Cabal specific card. It is reactive. During the power phase, an allied Brock Rumlow may play this card. This round, Brock Rumlow cannot be moved by an enemy or allied effects. Additionally, for the rest of the round, while defending, Brock Rumlow may re-roll any number of his dice. I mean, it's good.
So
it makes the Kingpin even better, like substantially better, actually.
well, he can't
Cabal.
play it with Kingpin.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Cabal
It's Cabal.
There's two problems
Never
with
mind.
this card. It's Cabal only, and he can't aggressive or hit and run.
Right. It's Scornergy.
Yeah.
But if you really don't want to move,
yeah, and you're playing Cabal.
Yeah. So nobody can throw you, nobody can push you, nobody can advance you, or place you.
So that's our take on Crossbones, the Merciless Merc. C++, and a B-. Very, very together on that one.
That average
I still
to
think
B.
I only said B- because you told me not to do C+.
Were you gonna do a C+? I mean, you go ahead and do it.
Oh,
no,
4 C pluses averages to a C. So
yeah, all right. Well, do you have any comic book recommendations, Brad? I'm sorry, everyone. I'm trying to rush through this. We are approaching 2 hours of record time.
Oh my god. So I have just 2 here for Crossbones. These are in addition to, I think it's episode 12 when we did the first Crossbones. So if you want more Crossbones, go read those. Actually, definitely read those before these. The first one is Fear Itself the Fearless. This is by Colin Bunn, Matt Fraction, Chris Yost, and Mark Bagley. And on that last cast, I said I should have picked a story that had Crossbones and Sin working together. Well, this time I did. So this is after the events of Fear Itself. And the Hammers, like in the scenario, what's that scenario called? It's not called
Fear Grips Worthy.
Fear Grips Worthy.
Yeah, Fear Grips Worthy. Anyway, those hammers are scattered throughout the world, and Brock and Sin are tracking them down so that they can use them for evil, while Valkyrie is tracking them down to send them back to Asgard, and they run into a bunch of different people. Both groups run into different people. They have to fight like the X-Men and the Avengers and so forth. So that's the first one. Second one is kind of the sequel to a story from the previous episode that I talked about, where Crossbones shoots Steve Rogers with a sniper rifle and Steve Rogers dies. This is called Captain America Reborn, and it's bringing Steve Rogers back from the dead. It's by Ed Brubaker and Brian Hitch. And it's a bit of a mystery because, is this the real Steve, or is this a plot by Red Skull? And you notice I haven't mentioned Crossbones, but he's in this, so what's he up to? You'll have to read the story and find out.
All right. Brandon, do you have any affiliations you feel like he belongs in?
I still think I think Kingpin might be the only thing playable.
Oh, of course. Of course. Brandon said,
Yeah.
Kingpin Criminal Syndicate. Imagine that.
I think this is still the best place for him at 3 threat. I do think he's going to be playable, and if he's affiliated with Cabal, and I guess he could be. If he's Cabal, Hydra, and Criminal Syndicate, I think Hydra would probably be the one place you wouldn't play him in his affiliation, or he might be a hard consider.
I think under Red Skull he's fine, but under Strucker you wouldn't play him.
I think it's just hard. I think they just have a lot of 3s that are playable.
Like Viper.
Sin. Yeah, Viper.
Viper's good
better
with
than
Strucker. I know.
Vipers might be better than Crossbones and Hydra.
I think she definitely is.
Crossbones.
I think she's 100% better.
Crossbones 1, absolutely.
But is she better than Taskmaster?
Nah, I think Taskmaster's gonna see. I think Taskmaster is gonna get a big uptick in play.
I think so too.
He's Hydra affiliated, so
yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, that leaves only my non sequitur recommendation. You know what? Let's just skip it. We are way too late. All right, everybody. I will see everybody next time. Next time we talk about stuff about MCP.
Tournament.
Oh gosh. What's the tournament?
The Cube.
Fabricators Forge on the
23rd. It's only
23rd.
one day event now.
And I am signed up. I'll be there. I think Steven, you'll be there.
Correct.
And
there's 3 people from my area that are coming. So
cool. And I have a special surprise for this one that I don't know if I've mentioned.
Oh no.
So
okay. Asgard?
Show up. Well, you know I'm not playing the non-mutant faction.
I guess everyone who's curious to see what Brad's going to play will have to show up.
It's not what I'm playing.
And on that note,
a surprise. But okay.
Oh my God! Let me end the podcast. We've been here for so long.
No, Fred.
It's your new prison.
I'm trapped in this hell of my own creation.
If you would just watch the cubes, we could get this over with.
I have one. Goodbye, everybody.